protect, and serve.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again. You managed to get what you need?
I have the code.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a Courser. How'd you manage to get it decoded?
The railroad helped me.
Oh God, those kooks. I would have expected they'd be too busy trying to liberate vending machines, or setting computer terminals free, or... Sorry. They just have something of a reputation. You're not the only one who's been busy. I did the best I could. From memory and things I've overheard through the years. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit. Here's the simple explanation. You know the craziest part of the design? That classical music station. That's the carrier signal for the relay. All the data's on harmonic frequencies. You've been hearing it all along. I want to be clear that this isn't my area of expertise. I was bioscience, not engineering or advanced.
I'm sure it'll work.
For the record, I haven't made any promises. But if you can build this device and make use of that code, you should be able to override the signal from the Institute's relay. Can you? I mean, can you build it? You have people that can help. This is a lot for one person, even you.
I got it covered.
Good, good. Because you've got to make it in there. For both our sakes. And don't you forget our agreement. I've helped you as best I can. It's my only hope for ever being. Now go on. Take these and get to work.
Someone was expecting trouble.
Paladin Danse. Glad to see you alive and well, sir.
Are we in luck, sir?
Mission accomplished. We have the transmitter.
Finally, some good news for a change. Nice work, sir.
I didn't do it alone. Halen, Reese, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the Brotherhood. He shows a lot of promise, and with the proper guidance, I think he has the potential of becoming one of the best.
Thanks. I promise not to let you down.
You don't have to prove anything else to me. Getting that transmitter was enough.
So you decided to stay, huh? I expected you to take your payment and run.
I got tired of wandering alone.
Too bad. I was getting used to the thought of you leaving.
Reese, that's enough. Like it or not, you're going... And you need to understand what it means to be a part of the... We're not soldiers of fortune. If you intend to stay within our ranks...
Don't worry. I've spent time in the military.
Perfect. Then there's no need to give you a long lecture. So I'll get right to the point. I only ask for two things. You fall in line, you stay in. There's one last order of business I wanted to get out of the way. I'm going to recommend you to be awarded the rank of Knight. Now...
Thank you.
Thanks aren't necessary. Just continue excelling at your duties, soldier.
Ad Victoriam, Knight.
He doesn't even know what that means, Halen.
Ad Victoriam means to victory. In our eyes, defeat is unacceptable, because we're fighting for the future of mankind. Our rallying cry is more powerful than any weapon you could ever carry. Remember that. Now, I've received orders that we're both to report to the... However, I'll leave the choice up to you. Let me know when you're ready to...
Dance?
Are you ready to head up to the ship?
Of course I am. I've never seen anything so impressive.
Takes your breath away, doesn't it? We call our ship the Prydwen. She's loaded. If she's here, Elder Maxon's here.
Gonna be a quick war with that thing on our side.
Yeah, but for who?
That's the plan. If history's proven anything, it's that an overwhelming show of force has a chance of halting a conflict before it begins. That being said, you're about to get to know the Prydwen up close and personal. I've received orders. Follow me up to the roof.
If synths were meant to fly, they would have built us with wings.
That minigun in front of you is loaded and ready to fire. If you spot anything hostile during the flight, I suggest you put it to good use. Make sure you properly identify your targets before you start shooting. We don't want to have any mishaps and fire on the locals. The Commonwealth looks different from up here, doesn't it? It never ceases to amaze me how drastically your perception of the battlefield changes from the air. We're gonna need that edge when we take on the Institute. They've already proven that they're technologically superior, which means there's no telling what types of weapons they'll have in their arsenal. Hopefully, our air superiority and tactical know-how will make the difference. Now all we have to do is find them. And I'm betting that Elder Maxon will have a plan already in place by the time we arrive. I wish everyone down there believed in our cause. But they've been blinded by rumors and misinformation. They don't realize the Brotherhood of Steel is the Commonwealth's last hope for survival. Every man, woman, and child below is in mortal danger. If we fail, it's only a matter of time before the enemy overwhelms the population. Cleansing the Commonwealth is our duty, and I will gladly spill my own blood if it ensures our victory. We're on final approach to the airport. The Prydwen should be coming into view just ahead. We'll be meeting Lancer Captain Kells on the flight deck. Just stick close to me and answer all of his questions. soldier. This is the moment when everything changes. I hope you're ready.
See a lot of folks at their worst in my line of work. Hard to not let it get to you sometimes.
Permission to come aboard, sir?
Permission granted, and welcome back, Paladin. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you on a successful mission. And is this our new recruit?
Yes, sir. I feel promoted him to initiate, and I'd like to sponsor his entry into our rankings personally.
Yes, we've read your reports. You'll be pleased to know that Elder Maxon's approved your request and placed the recruit in your charge.
Thank you, sir. And my current orders?
You are to remain on the Pridwin and await further instructions.
Very good, sir. Ad Victoriam, Captain.
Ad Victoriam, Paladin. So, you're the one Paladin Danse has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me.
And what's a soldier supposed to look like?
A soldier is supposed to be an efficient killing machine. Not a relic from the past, playing catch-up with the rest of the world. If Danse hadn't stepped in and vouched for you, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Accepting outsiders like yourself has proven disastrous in the past. I've read Paladin Dance's reports. He seems to think you'll make a fine addition to the Brotherhood. You might expect an endorsement like that to grant you a great deal of latitude with us. But let me make one thing clear. The Brotherhood of Steel has traveled to the Commonwealth with a specific goal in mind.
Right.
As the captain of this vessel, understood?
Absolutely.
Good. That's all for now, soldier. Your orders are to... If you have any questions, ask me now. Otherwise, you'll...
I don't have any questions.
Then I suggest you head over to the command deck immediately. Dismissed, Initiate.
Well, good afternoon to you, too.
Welcome aboard. Elder Max...
Brothers and sisters, the road behind has been long and fraught with difficulty. Each and every one of you has surpassed my expectations by rapidly facilitating our arrival in the Commonwealth. You have accomplished this amazing feat without a hint of purpose or direction, and most impressively, without question. Now that the ship is in position, it is time to reveal our purpose and our... Beneath the Commonwealth, there is a cancer, known as the Institute. A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface. They are experimenting with dangerous technologies that could prove to be the world's undoing for the second time in recent history. The Institute scientists have created a weapon that transcends the destructive nature of the atom bomb. They call their creation the Synth, a robotic abomination of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being. This notion that a machine could be granted free will is not only offensive, but horribly dangerous. And like the atom, if it isn't harnessed properly, it has the potential of rendering us extinct as a species. I am not prepared to allow the Institute to continue this line of experimentation. Therefore, the Institute and their synths are considered enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. This campaign will be costly, and many lives will be lost. But in the end, we will be saving humankind from its worst enemy. Itself. Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victoriam!
I care about them, you know. The people of the Commonwealth.
I can see that. They're playing with fire and we need to save them.
Exactly. I just hope we're here in time. I refuse to allow the mistakes of the past to be repeated.
Don't worry. I'm convinced.
Paladin Dance's reports were quite clear regarding your feelings toward the Brotherhood. And he concludes that you'd be an asset to us. Seeing as he's one of my most respected field officers, you couldn't get a better recommendation. Therefore, from this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Knight. And, befitting your title,
I'll do my best to live up to it.
I'm certain that you will. In any event, once you're finished becoming familiar, welcome aboard the Pridwin, soldier. Make us proud.
Status report.
Green across the board, sir. Nothing new.
Good. Carry on, Knight. So how did it look out there?
Excuse me, Paladin Dance?
A lot of work ahead
There
of us,
you
brother.
are. How did it go with Elder Maxon?
I was very impressed with him. He seems to know what's best for everyone.
Exactly. I just hope you appreciate, not to put too fine a point on it.
I won't let you down, Dance. I promise.
Good. Now, in order to be an effective partner, since I've been officially assigned...
Sounds good. Let's go.
Outstanding.
Congratulations on the promotion, Knight.
Ah, good. You're finally here.
What are you doing with all these books?
I suppose I could stop working for a moment to address your question.
Makes sense to get rid of the trash.
Well, I'm pleased you agree. There are other scribes, since it's obvious that you aren't...
Maxon wanted me to meet the crew, so...
Ah, yes. However, I'm unfortunate.
What type of technical documentation?
The Brotherhood, medical record.
Maybe I can lend you a hand.
That would be... As you patrol, I'm author, and if you wish in any of it.
Glad you finally stopped by, soldier. Are you ready for your medical exam?
Sure. Go right ahead.
All right. I'm going to ask you a series of medical-related... First question. As a child, were you ever exposed to radiation for an extended period of time?
There wasn't that much radiation around before the bombs fell.
Before the bombs? What? Let me check my notes. You were a vault dweller? You're probably healthier than anyone else aboard. Anyway, sorry I missed that in your records. Just going down the list of questions. I'm sure you understand. Okay, second question. Have you ever had or come in contact with a person confirmed to be carrying a communicable disease?
Never been seriously sick in my life.
Good, good. Third, have you ever had sexual relations with any species considered non-human?
Those species aren't my type.
Good. I find the practice highly distasteful myself. Last question. Would you have any problems pulling the trigger on an enemy of the Brotherhood, whether they're human, formerly human, or machine?
Nope, no problem whatsoever.
Excellent. You'll fit in quite well around here. Excellent. I think I've got all the information I need. I see no reason to prevent you from beginning your duties immediately. If you ever need medical assistance, you let me know.
You watch my back, I'll watch yours.
There. Try it now.
Nothing. I was supposed to report 10 minutes ago. If you can't fix it...
Oh, man, if I'm late for muster
Proctor
one more
Teagan.
time,
Step forward, Knight.
have me doing 100
Even though they've
push-ups.
locked me in this blasted cage, I promise that I won't bite.
Thanks, brother. I owe you.
Looks uncomfortable in there.
It's not that bad.
Sure.
Now, this is the stowage depot, and I, as you probably... The powers that be have me locked in. If you need to stock up on supplies...
Uh-huh. That's good to know.
I'm glad you're the agreeable type. When I tell most of the new recruits that they have to buy their own equipment, they give me the stink eye. The good news is by having a constant flow of caps, I'm able to buy whatever you bring me. Yeah, I'm mostly interested in weapons, but I'll take anything useful. Of course, if you're just...
I could use some extra caps.
You need them, and I want you to spend them here. It's a match made in heaven. It just involves... And since after you're done with... In the meantime...
Uh-huh.
So, you're the new recruit I heard about. Huh, not what I was expecting.
Sounds like you're disappointed.
Not disappointed, just surprised. You don't look like one of the usual wastelanders we pick up. Anyway, since you came down here to meet me, we may as well get it over with. My name's Ingram, and this lovely little grease pit is where you'll usually find me. If your power armor's too tight in the crotch, the Pridwin's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's gone haywire, you come see me.
Sounds like you have a pretty full plate.
Plate. Hell, I have a whole table's worth of duties around here. There isn't a day that goes by on this tub without 5 or 6 things breaking down. And since I'm stuck in this rig, I'm not quite as spry as I used to be. The work tends to pile up.
Actually, you seem to be getting around really well.
I suppose it's better than the alternative. Anyway, I'm sure you're here to get your hands on some power armor. There's a pretty decent T-60 suit sitting in Bay 3 that's all yours. The left leg actuator's a bit sticky, but it'll keep the creeps off of you. Oh, and if you need any work done on it, feel free to use the workshops around here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get...
Don't let Ingram catch you standing around. You'll be on report before you can blink.
When it comes to keeping the Pridwin running, Proctor Ingram's the best.
Tighten up the meter.
That?
Now switch it.
I can't talk right now. I have a lot on my mind.
Elder Maxim, I have a set of plans to build a signal interceptor to get me inside the Institute.
An intriguing proposal that I'll have to seriously consider. However, before I allow any of my soldiers to breach the Institute, careful preparations need to... In the meantime, I need you to follow my orders and remain patient.
I understand, Elder.
I know you're disappointed, but I need you to view this from my perspective. I'm not willing to risk the lives of my soldiers based solely on a set of crudely drawn plans. Give us time to validate the information you've discovered. Then when the time is right, I promise you, I'll do everything in my power to construct that device. You're dismissed, Knight.
Excuse me, Elder Maxon.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the Pridwin's crew, are you ready for your next assignment, brother?
Yes, Elder.
Good. Let's get right to it then. Shall we? Take a look over there. That's Fort Strong. And it's infested with super mutants. Having those aberrations of nature. To make matters worse, I want you to head over there. Wipe out. Understood?
Consider it done.
Look, I realize you're eager. The Brotherhood cannot allow those abominations to have a nuclear arsenal at their fingertips.
It'll be a pleasure to exterminate that mutant filth.
Now, we have a vertibird on standby, fully armed and ready to depart.
Right.
Use it to carry our message to Fort Strong and wipe those dirty mutants from the face of the earth. Dismissed.
This isn't the Navy, you know.
What's that? Come on!
Watch your step.
Time to die! You can't kill us all! Someone there!
We've got company.
Out there! Somewhere! This is your death!
Suppressing fire! Tango down!
Paladin.
Look at this place. You must hate these mutants as much as I do.
Absolutely. Wiping them out was a pleasure.
I wish all of these monstrosities. I've been fighting. I've seen what these super mutants do to people. It would be Armageddon repeated. And maybe the end. Look.
Don't apologize. It reminds me why I'm doing this.
Thank you, brother. It's good to know you're taking my advice to heart. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's important here is that you should head back up to the Dismissed. If you have a moment, there's...
Paladin Dance.
Ready to continue our mission, soldier?
Ready.
Roger that.
Hey.
Need something? Do you want to have that talk now?
Of course. What's on your mind?
Thank you. This isn't a formal... I think... And given that...
Sure. So there is a human being under all that power armor after all.
Sometimes I need a reminder. But when I was an initiate, he was from the... I fought by his side for years.
It sounds like he was trying to motivate you.
If he was, I never got a chance to ask. After I was promoted, the news was... It's taken me a long time. It's because I believe in you. And I don't want to see any of your potential go to waste.
I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. Well, I've said what I had to say, and I hope that it meant something to you. I trust you'll keep this in confidence, of course. Some of that information was of a personal nature, and, well, I'd like...
Oh, God.
Outstanding work at Fort Strong, soldier.
It was an honor fighting for the Brotherhood.
I'm glad you feel that way, because our mission here has only just begun. In order to bring the Institute, I try to supply my signal grenades can call a vertical. Simply throw one to the ground. Once you're aboard,
Thank you, Elder.
I expect that you will.
Sure.
Now, I'm sure you're aware that Fort Strong was... And even by now, I'm sure you've deduced that our arrival in the Commonwealth wasn't coincidental. We're here because of a unique energy reading according to our scribes. The reading indicated a level of technology that only the Institute could achieve. The moment this information came to the Institute, and everyone responsible to accomplish this goal, we need to locate... I've had our scribes meticulously searching the Commonwealth, but they've come up empty. The only logical explanation... That's where we need your help.
I might have a way to get into the Institute.
I believe there's a bit more to the story than you're telling me. But based on your actions so far, I'm willing to take you at your word. Now, indulge me for a moment by satisfying my curiosity. Tell me why you're so eager to get into the Institute.
I think they're the ones who kidnapped my son.
The Institute preys on the weak to further their own ends. Together, we'll make them pay for their crimes. I'll call ahead and brief Proctor Ingram. Report to the airport, and get to work on your project right away.
Would it be possible to speak?
Hey.
Where do you... There's still that off-the-record matter I'd like to discuss. Do you have time now?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is difficult for me to say, so I hope you'll bear with me as I try to get through it. When you were first placed under my sponsorship, I had some serious reservations about it. Despite all that, this has turned out to be a rewarding experience. For both of us. At this point, honestly, I don't feel like there's anything else I could teach you about being a Brotherhood soldier that you don't already know. It's apparent from your attitude and your actions that you intend to keep those ideals close to your heart.
You're beating around the bush. Is there something you're trying to tell me?
Is it that obvious? I've never been very good at these things. Let me start at the beginning. I grew up alone in the capital wasteland. Spent most of my childhood picking through the ruins and selling scrap. When I was a bit older and had a few caps to my name, I moved into Rivet City and opened a junk stand. While I was there, I met a guy named Cutler. We got along pretty well. Watched each other's backs and kept each other out of trouble. When the Brotherhood came through on a recruiting run, we felt like it was a way out of our nowhere lives. So we joined up.
I'm glad you had greater ambitions than just selling junk.
Once I saw what the Brotherhood had to offer, there was no comparison. Anyway, about a year after we were posted to the Prydwen, Cutler vanished on a scouting op. It took some convincing, but I was able to persuade my CO to let me assemble a squad and search for him. It took almost 3 weeks, but we tracked his team down to a super mutant hive. Those wretched abominations had slaughtered everyone but Cutler. He should have been so lucky. The mutant bastards used their FEV to change him into one of their own kind. He wasn't Cutler anymore. I had to... It was my duty to put him down.
You did the right thing.
It's what I was taught. I don't know if it was right. Ever since Cutler died, I've seen other soldiers come and go. Some were brave, some were honest. Hell, some were even downright heroic. But I'd never considered any of them to be a good friend. A friend like Cutler was. Until now. It's a good feeling, but it frightens me all the same. Having a bond with someone, then losing them. It changes you. I don't want to go through that again.
It'll never come to that. I promise.
Even though I'm well aware that you have no control over it, I appreciate the sentiment. I just thought you deserved to know how I felt. If you feel that I've overstepped my bounds, I completely understand. Whatever the case may be, I appreciate the fact that you took the time to listen.
advice to live by.
Remember your 3 C's. Cranium, crotch, center mass.
Just fixed a few power armor mods and gave them to Tegan. You might want to check them out.
Elder Maxon said you'd help me build the signal interceptor.
So, looks like you're calling the shots around here now, huh? All right, I'll bite. What does your new miracle device do?
The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out. This machine can hijack their signal and send me instead.
Teleportation? Molecular transmission via encrypted RF waves? Okay, even I have to admit, that's genius. This explains why we've been picking up anomalous energy readings all across the Commonwealth. Not to mention how they get their tin soldiers to come out of the damn walls. And this little beauty allows you to literally hijack a return signal. Instead of grabbing the intended target, it grabs you instead. Impressive.
Oh, you definitely know your stuff.
Damn right I do. It's difficult to make out all the details here, but I'm thinking you can get started by building a stabilized reflector platform. It's gonna take a cargo hold full of high-grade...
I'm glad you can make sense of those plans.
I haven't made sense of all of it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a list of everything you... You're also going to need a massive...
Ad Victoriam, brother.
Proctor Ingram.
Any luck building the platform yet?
Yes. I'm ready to build the rest of it.
Good. Let's move. Here's... Now I know some...
Looks good, Ingram. I'll get to work right away.
I wish I had your confidence.
I'll send for you if I need you.
Elder Maxon.
Remarkable work, Knight. The signal interceptor appears to be complete. Are you ready to put it to the test?
Absolutely. I'm ready to go.
Your confidence is an inspiration to us all. That being said, this is the first time we've attempted to directly adapt Institute technology. When we throw that switch, we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. God willing, you'll end up inside the Institute, and the mission can continue.
Nothing's gonna stop me when I'm so close to the answers I'm looking for.
Eager to get inside, huh? Good. Now, I want you to listen very carefully. Once you've entered the Institute, we expect to lose contact, so it's imperative you remember everything I'm about to tell you. About 10 years ago, the Brotherhood began recruiting civilian scientists from the capital wasteland to assist with various projects. During this process, we were able to obtain the services of Dr. Madison Lee, a noted mind in the field of nuclear engineering.
That's fortunate.
Yes, it was. Securing useful resources during wartime is critical. That said, Dr. Lee's contributions to our cause were instrumental in maintaining order in the capital wasteland. After some time, she developed differences with the Brotherhood and exiled herself to the Commonwealth. We're fairly certain that her intent was to make contact with the Institute.
She was a valuable resource. It was a mistake to let her leave.
Agreed. I wish our predecessors would have had your foresight. Your mission is simple. Once you're inside the Institute, we want you to track down Dr. Lee's whereabouts. If you find out that she's still alive, make contact with her and convince her to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. There's a special project we're working on, and it needs her attention.
Consider it done, Elder.
Very good. Listen to me, Knight. I'm well aware that you're risking your life going into the Institute blind. Just keep your mind on the mission, and don't let anything they say sway you from your duty. Good luck.
I know this meeting.
Hey.
You point, I shoot.
Hey, what's up?
I've checked and rechecked everything. I think the signal interceptor's ready to go. Are you?
Let's do this.
All right. Head up onto the platform and...
Dr. Lee is a
pull
valuable
yourself
asset.
together and get up onto that
If any harm
platform.
comes to you, I'm holding you personally responsible.
Let's see. Relays dialed in.
Here, I'll show you. Loading mods. Let's see. I have a bunch of different save files. These are the ones I got.
Beam emitters warmed up. Everything looks green.
And
Let me start scanning for the signal.
I
Cross your
can't show you
fingers.
my inventory
I'm
because it
inputting
won't
the
let
code
me.
now. Wow, there's a heck of a lot of interference
on
and
this
ghosting.
thing.
It's gonna take a minute or two to lock in. By the way, this little trip you're taking is a heck of an opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any terminal down there, it'll do the rest.
Bring it back to me and I'll see if I can make sense of whatever it found. Well, well. Looks like we have a winner. RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%. Emitter spiking but steady. All that's left is to throw the transmit switch. Transmitting in 3, 2, 1. Stay safe, soldier.
Move out.
Yay. Okay. That's my inventory right there. That's my stats. Network scanner. Okay.
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Fo4. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us.
Yeah, I know
I'd
what I
like to
do.
show you that you may have the wrong impression.
Okay.
Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Sean.
Father, what's
It's
going
me.
on? What's happening?
I'm your dad. Those bastards, they took you from me.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Sean, open the door.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Sean, please, calm down. I'll get you out of there.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Sean. The real Sean. Right now!
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
Just... help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
Oh, come on. That's crazy.
I assure you, I am completely sane and entirely honest. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you. Kidnapped you. Wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity, so they followed the best example thus far.
I think I see where this is going.
Then perhaps you already understand why it was necessary for the Institute to acquire me. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic... Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute... I was exactly what they needed. I am their father. Through science, we are family.
60 years. So much time. Wasted.
I know. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future. no matter what those above ground might think of us.
They're scared of you, Sean. Scared of the Institute.
People are always frightened by what they don't understand. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. What else can I say to ease your mind?
I think I've heard enough for now.
Very well. The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through so much. I'm pleased to see it as... Forgive me. I'd assumed that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit biased against us. There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate.
I'll do whatever it takes. It's worth it.
I am glad to hear. The Institute is now. You want to introduce you. And finally, Dr.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we maintain and there's a lot of the work we do might... So, now that you're here and you've spoken to...
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. If there's anything else you like...
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it. That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespan.
Scanning. Subject identified.
They were built pretty well.
Have you had time to examine my latest reports on batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's...
Hi, Doc.
I wonder how the
Welcome.
Warwick family is
So
doing.
good to have you here.
Young
Dr.
Wally must
Clayton
be close to
Holdren,
10 years old by
head
now.
of the bioscience trade.
Remarkable that
I
any
can't
child
wait
can
for you to see the
survive
work
for
we're
so
doing.
long up there, don't you
It's
think?
truly amazing.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you... As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and, to that end, we cultivate highly specialized... We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet...
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around.
I'm good for now, thanks.
Take care, then.
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Excuse me, Dr. Lee?
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized.
Actually, I was looking for you.
Me? Why?
I've been sent by the Brotherhood of Steel to find you.
You don't beat around the bush, I'll give you that. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
I'm only here with good intentions. You have my word.
You're giving me your word, even though we just met? Fine. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
The Brotherhood needs your help, Doctor.
Needs my help. Why? They seemed to have everything under control when I left.
The Brotherhood valued your presence, and we'd like you to come back.
Well, how sweet of them. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawl? What reason would I have to throw...
Father trusts me, and so should you.
He trusts you because you're family. I'm not.
The Brotherhood has always been straight with you.
I am getting a bit tired of all the secrets around here. But still, how can I turn my back on all of this?
Your work could be instrumental in freeing the Commonwealth.
You really know how to push my buttons, don't you? You know, all those innocent people up there, dying. And here I am, surrounded by technology that could make their lives better. Yet we hide down here, and it's not right. It's not right. I'll make my way back to the Brotherhood. But I'm going to have to do it on my own. I can't take any chances being seen with you. Tell whoever sent you that they've just regained the services of Dr. Madison Lee. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install... You're to be given full access.
A Courser chip? What's it do?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust, Father. Speaking of, I trust our
I hope you and Father try to make up the time you've lost.
protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these.
I am seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some
You're
heads
here.
together.
Glad you made it.
They're
Carry
dragging
on,
their feet
sir.
on the targeting package upgrades
We're all
I asked
looking
for.
forward to working
Maybe I
with
should take
you.
some courses with me. Send a message.
Please don't.
Doctor. So,
There's enough friction as it is
here you
between
are.
us and
Justin
pretty
Ayo,
much all the other
Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close... Despite your... I'm sure you...
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths.
Uh-huh. I'm sure it's best for everyone if the synths remain here.
Certainly. We can't allow sophisticated Institute technology to fall into the wrong hands. The results could be disastrous. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than a match for any single combatant. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'm good for now, thanks.
Very well.
Nothing to report, sir.
Huh?
Well, hello.
Hello.
If you run into any synths, shoot to kill. We don't take prisoners.
Ah! My leg! Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the Interceptor would do to you.
I wasn't worried. After all, I built the device myself.
I have confidence in everything I built too, but that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
Hopefully, it'll reveal a weakness in their defenses.
That would be the best case. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get. I'm sure the Institute has... After that, in the meantime, good luck, Knight.
If Elder Maxon ordered me to follow him to the gates of hell, I'd be the first one to kick him.
Heads up.
Go ahead.
Paladin dance.
If you have the time to talk now, I'd still like to know what you think about Scribe Halen.
She's as dedicated as they come. A real team player.
I couldn't agree more. But I wasn't looking for an evaluation of her performance as a scribe. I wanted to know what you thought of Halen as a person.
This isn't like you, Dance. Are you going to tell me what this is all about?
I suppose I'm beating around the bush because I don't normally find these discussions easy to handle. I'll try and get right to the point. The truth is, I'm worried about her. Since you and I are getting along so well, I felt like I could confide in you about it, to get your honest opinion.
I appreciate that you value my opinion so highly. Tell me what's on your mind.
Let me explain everything from the beginning. A few months before you found us, one of my men was shot multiple times by raiders. Halen stayed by that knight's side for 2 days straight, without sleep, fighting to keep him alive. But he was on a slow decline. I decided that his suffering needed to end, and ordered Halen to administer an overdose of painkillers, so he could die with dignity. Even though I'm certain she wanted to continue fighting for that knight's life. She injected him without question.
It sounds like she was simply following your orders.
Of course she was. Halen's never been insubordinate. But the decision whether or not to ease that soldier's suffering isn't the point here. The point is what happened later that same evening. Halen approached me while I was on watch. She didn't say a word, but I could tell something was wrong. After what felt like an eternity, she collapsed into my arms, crying. I didn't know what to do, so I just held her for a while. A few minutes later, she stopped, kissed me on the cheek, and simply said, "Thank you," before heading back into the police station. Right then it hit me. Maybe I pushed her too hard. I ordered her to ignore her instincts, to do something her medical training told her was wrong. That's why I'm worried about her, and for that matter, everyone under my command. Are you ignoring me for a reason?
Don't use Halen as an excuse. This is about you.
Yeah. I suppose you're right. Look, 4 soldiers. Over half of my team are gone. Each one of them died because of decisions that I made. I understand the risks that come with the job. We all do. But how can anyone have confidence in me anymore? Hell, how can I have confidence in myself?
There's no guarantees in life, Dance. We just do the best we can, and we press on.
That's sound advice, soldier. Well, it looks like things have taken a turn. I signed up to be your sponsor, so I teach you everything that I know. But it looks like I'm the one that needed the lesson today. All joking aside, I'm pleased that we had this discussion. And with all the problems you're facing, you still took the time to listen. It's comforting to know that I can speak to you as more than just your commanding officer.
I'm here anytime you need me, Dance.
Good. I may take you up on that someday. Anyway, thanks for letting me get that off my shoulders. I think it's been weighing on me more than I realized. I'm only sorry you had to see me at my worst, instead of at my best.
Unless you like getting ready.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
I've convinced her that the Institute is the enemy, not the Brotherhood.
Well done, Knight. As soon as Dr. Lee arrived, she's been under the Institute's influence. Now, on to other matters. Thanks to the success of your reconnaissance, I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
Reactor at 100% efficiency.
Engine turbines at 87% efficiency.
Heads up.
What do you want?
The last person that disobeyed Captain Kells ended up scraping rust off the Pridwin's hull. From the outside.
Heard you got a new assignment.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
So, I bet you're eager to get your hands...
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll help us crush the Institute.
It will. Come on. It's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Pridwin might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
No problem. I'm sure this...
I wish I had your confidence, because this is not going to be easy. Now, the bad news is that the first problem...
There's gotta be a way to solve that.
I do all the... As much as I... Luckily, she was on the original build team. I've already spoken to her. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with this power system, we can get the big guy moving.
Mm-hmm.
If it was up to me, I'd take...
Attention, this is a reminder. Any recovered historical, technological, or social documentation should be delivered directly to Proctor Quinlan.
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
You promised you'd help us.
You're right, I did. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Because we care what happens to the Commonwealth.
And we want to stop the Institute from using its technological superiority as a weapon.
You know, if anyone else wearing a Brotherhood of Steel uniform said something like that, I'd laugh in their face. But coming from you, it sounds like you actually mean it. Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty Prime back online, but we'll get it done.
Look alive.
All right.
Over here.
Got it.
Looks quiet.
Trying to minimize reactor jitter. Adjusting compression.
Paladin dance.
You need to talk?
I think I need to run my mission solo for a while.
Affirmative. I'll see what I can do to make myself useful while you're gone. Ad Victoriam.
Heard you gave those muties at Fort Strong something to think about.
Ingram?
Well, things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming, isn't she?
Maybe I should come back later.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. We might not be the best of friends, but we'll get the job done. Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all the aggravation. We're working with one of Prime's original designers. I don't see it getting any better than that. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuator.
What do the actuators do?
Pretty simple. The actuators, Prime's new lead. We're gonna have to rip those out. What we need you to do.
Now that you know what the actuator... These are the plans, and
Now, before you get that look on, the only thing we need, according to Proctor Quinlan, the best... We've already sent out a few...
Once you start building, good luck.
Give me a laser rifle and my power armor, and I'll take on the world.
Proctor Ingram?
That's all 4 actuators. Delivered and done. Nice work.
Right on schedule. I've completed the restoration of Prime's basic functions, and he's ready to go. In fact, it's getting difficult to explain to the system why it can't move right now.
Well, as soon as my scribes get those actuators in place, we'll have his arms and legs installed in no time. Which brings me to your next assignment. It won't be long before Prime can walk and talk, but he's missing one last important element. His nukes. Without them, his offensive systems aren't operating at peak capacity.
Shouldn't be a problem. Just tell me where they are.
I wish I could. Prime's bomb pack is fitted for Mark 28 nuclear bombs. The same type of bombs that were dropped from aircraft during the Great War. The Commonwealth was a major staging area for the military's Air Force, so we assumed but since we arrived, our scout...
That's going to be a problem. Without a fully loaded nuke pack, Prime won't have the firepower to take on the Institute.
Can I build the nukes like I built the actuators?
I could build you 1,000 nuke casings, right now, but we've got nothing to put inside them. The Mark 28s have a specialized nuclear payload that requires the correct balance of fissile materials in order for them to detonate properly. In other words, I'd love to mix you a cocktail, but I'm all out of liquor. But before you give up hope, there's actually a silver lining here. Proctor Quinlan has located some records regarding a military installation, which was used as a nuclear weapons storage facility. We're fairly certain this included a stockpile of the Mark 28s. The catch is that the
I'll head out there immediately.
Good, because that's exactly what we're asking you to do. Scribe Halen's established a communications point on the frontier of the glowing sea. I suggest you head out there first, and establish a signal protocol with her so that the nukes can be airlifted out once you've located them. Hopefully, by the time you've returned, we'll be ready to wake Prime up, and you can say hello. Good luck, Knight.
Nothing to report right now, Knight.
Excuse me, Scribe Halen.
It's good to see you again, Knight. You've come a long way since you stumbled into the Cambridge police station.
Thanks, Halen. I assume the place is still in one piece.
We're doing the best that we can. We've had the occasional synth attack, but so far we've been able to keep them from overrunning us. Thanks to the reinforcements and the air support, I'd say that site was secure.
That's not surprising. After all, it's in good hands.
I appreciate that. Anyway, I know you don't have time for small talk, so I'll get right to it. I've had the men set up the equipment we'll need to pinpoint you once you've found the bombs. We've rigged up this distress pulsar to emit a unique tone that we'll be listening for. When you find the bombs, plant the pulsar, and we'll handle the rest. After that, you should probably head back to Proctor Ingram and bring her your report.
Doesn't sound too difficult.
Ah, no. Not at all. You're only heading back into the most inhospitable place in the entire Commonwealth. Look, I know you've been through the glowing sea before, but remember to keep an eye on your Geiger counter. If you don't, the radiation will cook you from the inside out. Good luck, Knight.
broken.
Hey.
State your purpose, stranger. You walk on Atom's hallowed ground.
Just tell me where you keep the nukes.
Your words betray your intentions. You do not see them for the holy relics they are, the gifts from Atom that must be protected. The children of Atom have sworn to guard this place until the time.
You know what? Enough of this nonsense. Tell me where the nukes are right now.
Your anger will not bring you closer to Atom, nor to his holy works. You will leave this place at once, or face Atom's wrath.
This is your last warning. Show me the nukes, or else.
No! Your time on this world has ended. Face Atom's wrath and despair.
Surprise contact.
Proctor.
Looks like the Mark 28s are gonna do the trick. That was a good find.
I'll work with your team to ensure that Prime's bombs remain stable after they're loaded into his pack. It won't be too much of a problem.
Well, Dr. Lee, I have to admit, we couldn't have done this without you.
It's a little early to begin celebrating, Proctor Ingram. We haven't fully thrown the switch on Liberty Prime, and I'm just hoping all the work I've done to keep his system stable are gonna hold.
I have full confidence in the abilities of everyone here.
I appreciate that.
Proctor, all the readouts look green. I think it's time for you to perform the power shunt.
Actually, I think I'm gonna let you press the button. After all, without your help, we'd still be staring at a pile of disassembled parts.
It would be better if a trained technician performed that task, but I suppose you deserve to be the one to do it.
Liberty Prime, back online.
All right, let's run a basic diagnostic on him.
Diagnostic command accepted.
Give him a moment. He needs to adjust to his new configuration.
Voice module online. Audio functionality test initialized. Designation: Liberty Prime Mark II. Mission: the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska. Primary targets: any and all red Chinese invaders.
Now let me run a system analysis and battle readiness check.
Liberty Prime, full system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Warning: nuclear weapon payload depleted. Reload required. Warning: power core offline. Running on external power only. Core restart recommended. Ability to repel red Chinese invaders compromised.
I've got green lights across the board here. He's looking good from where I'm sitting. Doctor, if you wouldn't mind keeping an eye on the big guy here, I'd appreciate it. Well, I have to...
Proctor Ingram.
Well, I have to admit, I wasn't sure we'd be able to pull it off, but Liberty Prime's looking pretty good.
With him on our side, I don't see how the Institute even stands a chance.
I couldn't agree with you more. Before you head off to your next assignment, I have something for you. I came up with this little beauty myself. I think it'll add a bit more punch to your power armor.
You think I'll need it for my next assignment?
I don't know, but it never hurts to be prepared. Anyway, that's enough of that. You better hightail it up to the Pridwin. Elder Maxson said he needed to speak to you as soon as you were done here. And thank you, Knight. Without you, none of this would have been possible.
I can't wait to see Liberty Prime.
Is there anything you wish to tell me, Knight?
Not at all. I have nothing to hide.
I find that very hard to believe. Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something unprecedented. Paladin Dance is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
That's impossible.
I'm afraid not. The evidence is quite damning. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Dance's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL. Disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin Dance are one and the same. I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you, and then swore you to secrecy.
You have to believe me. He never told me he was a synth.
Apparently, I've misjudged you, which means I've decided to take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Dance is a synth. He represents everything we hate, a monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed in order to preserve our future, which leaves me facing the most difficult order I've ever given. I'm ordering you to hunt down Dance and execute him.
With pleasure. I'll make him pay for lying to us.
I appreciate your cooperation. Listen, I'm not blind to the fact that Dance was your mentor, and this isn't an easy burden to bear. But if we're to remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions. Even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting point. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these orders. So don't disappoint me. You're dismissed.
Attention all Brotherhood soldiers. If you have not yet received your Squire mentorship assignment, please come see me on the bridge.
Knight. I was told you were coming.
Repeat. If you
Sorry
have not
about this
received
business
your
with
mentorship
Dance.
assignment, please report to the bridge. That is all.
What do you know about this situation?
While I was decrypting all of the data you acquired from within the Institute, I came across a list. It appears that the Institute keeps exemplary records where their synths are concerned, including logging those that were reported missing. As I was perusing this list, I came across an image of Dance under the heading M797. A quick DNA comparison with our own records told the rest of the tale. I'm certain this comes as quite a shock to you, Knight. I'm sorry.
He'll be missed.
Doubtful. I wouldn't miss a synth any sooner than I'd miss a transistor radio. I was merely sorry that you'd been duped. No matter. I've been poring over Dance's duty reports, and unfortunately, I haven't found any concrete information. As you're well aware, Dance had intimate knowledge of the Commonwealth, and I'm afraid he could be seeking refuge anywhere. I think our best approach would be to identify every location he's ever visited and eliminate them as possibilities one by one. You may want to get comfortable. This could take quite a bit of...
What the hell is this crap about Dance being a synth?
I assume your outburst was a reference to some doubt regarding Dance's identity. I can assure you that my findings are quite accurate, Scribe.
So he sets Dance up, and then you knock him down. Is that it?
How did you hear about it?
There are no secrets in the Brotherhood. Maxon's made it clear that we're to locate Paladin Dance, and if we find him, report his location to you. That can only mean you've been sent to hunt him down.
Orders are orders.
Orders are orders? That's all you have to say? I can't believe that after everything Paladin Dance did for you, you're just gonna turn your back on him like this. There's obviously been a mistake, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Scribe Halen! You're addressing a senior officer, and you will show him the respect that he's due, or so help me, I'll have you brought up on charges. Now, unless you're here with information that can assist us, I suggest you return to the police station immediately.
Of course. My apologies, Proctor. I believe I have some information that's relevant to the search.
Very well then. Would you care to enlighten us? Or do we have to wait until you decide to grace us with your knowledge?
Knight, if you'd accompany me to the flight deck, I'd like to show you the information I've compiled firsthand. I've stored the data on my Vertibird gunship's computer.
I'll take anything that gets me closer to finding Dance.
Yes, sir.
Proceed, Knight. I'll continue doing my research here.
If you'll follow me, sir.
Scribe Halen.
Do you actually plan on killing Paladin Dance?
I haven't decided yet.
Well, before you do, I need you to listen to what I have to say. I've known Paladin Dance ever since I was an initiate. He trained me, showed me the ropes, and when I screwed up, he taught me to dust myself off and move on. He's earned my admiration, my respect, and my friendship. I don't care what Quinlan's report says. I don't care if he's a machine or not. He's still Dance.
That's a bold statement.
It's more than just a statement. It's a plea. Dance is the most selfless person I've ever met. I've watched him risk his own life based on nothing more than principle alone. That's why I'm asking you. Not just as a member of the Brotherhood, but as a human being. Give him a chance. Let him tell his side of the story. If you're not convinced by what he says, or somehow he's become truly lost to us, then you do what you have to do.
All right, I'll hear him out.
That's all that I ask. I'll just have to trust that when the time comes, you'll do the right thing. Before the Pribwin showed up, Dance had me identify a fallback point if we ever lost the police station. It was Listening Post Bravo, an old pre-war US military outpost on the northern frontier of the Commonwealth. It's isolated, and we're the only ones that knew about it. So, there's a good chance that's where he's headed. Just be careful. There's no telling what state of mind he's in right now, or if he trusts any of us at all.
Dr. Lee's arrived. I'm certain she'll be vital to the Brotherhood's success.
Hi there.
Excuse me.
Welcome.
I love it here.
Welcome to the Slog. We're the only tarberry bog in the Commonwealth. So what do you think of the place?
It's pretty clever, making a tarberry bog out of an old swimming pool.
I appreciate your saying so. When I came across this place, it was the first time I'd seen anything like it. It seemed like a shame not to use it for something. You've probably noticed it's only ghouls around here. I used to live in Diamond City, until that rat bastard mayor threw me and all the other ghouls out. I decided that we ghouls should have a place where we could feel welcome, and that's mainly why I started up this farm.
It looks like you've done well for yourself.
It's a good start, yeah, and I'm proud of all the work we've done. Still, I think we can do more. What if this place could be more than just a refuge for ghouls who aren't welcome elsewhere? What if it could also be an example of what we can do when we put our minds to something and work together? We want this to be a place that everyone looks forward to visiting, with smiling faces, good bargains, and great produce. Maybe we can make people take a second look, you know? Maybe then they'd see that we're not monsters.
I think it's a great idea.
You really think so? Because if you do, we could definitely use some help. We can't sell tarberries without traders, and trade caravans need safe roads. There's a gang of super mutants that's been preying on... It'd be a great help.
I'll take care of those super mutants. I promise.
Good.
Going down.
Hey there.
I'm not surprised Maxon sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself.
Why didn't you tell me, Dance?
Because I didn't know. Until Quinlan got that list decoded, I thought synths were the enemy. I never expected to hear that I was one of them. If it wasn't for Halen, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, what are your orders? Does Maxon even want me alive?
No. But I'm hoping there's a way out.
Don't be ridiculous. Look, I'm not blind to the fact that we're good friends, and this must be very difficult for you. I wish Maxon had sent someone else, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm a synth, which means I need to be destroyed. If you disobey your orders, you're not only betraying Maxon, you're betraying the Brotherhood of Steel and everything it stands for. Synths can't be trusted. Machines were never meant to make their own decisions. They need to be controlled. Technology that's run amok is what brought the entire world to its knees, and humanity to the brink of extinction. I need to be the example, not the exception.
see you've calculated all the variables, just like a machine.
Your anger simply proves my point. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my true identity. Maxon's ordered you to execute me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in your way.
If it needs to be done, then so be it.
I've never been prouder of you than I am right now, brother. It's been a pleasure serving with you. Ad Victoriam, brother.
Going up. Ground floor. I understand how you must be feeling, brother. Dan's betrayed us all.
Report, Knight. Have you handled the situation with Paladin Dance?
The traitor's been executed, Elder.
Excellent work. Of course. Dance's execution creates a missing link in our chain of command. That traitor held quite an important position with us. I'm certain that you'll make a fine replacement. His quarters and all his possessions are now yours, including his personal suit of power armor. Congratulations, Paladin.
I won't disappoint you, Elder.
Had I even a single doubt in my mind, I wouldn't have awarded you the promotion. Just be aware that a Brotherhood Paladin is expected to be a symbol of integrity to our brothers and sisters. I trust you won't disappoint them, or disappoint me. In any event, we still have the Institute to contend with. While the finishing touches are being put onto Liberty Prime, Captain Kells has identified a potential threat to our operations. Report to him immediately for your ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Looks like we have a thruster imbalance. Tweaking pitch.
Ah, Paladin. Good. Now that the unfortunate matter regarding Dance has been settled, we can return to our primary mission.
I'm ready, Captain.
Good, because this mission demands your full attention. Now, before we launch our attack on the Institute, we need to address another threat. The Railroad. They're a small but capable group that uses subterfuge and guerrilla tactics to harass their enemies. Our tactical analysis says they could possibly hamper or harm our operations, which is a risk I'm not willing to take. If we strike them now, we should be able to maximize the amount.
Hit them before they hit us? I like it.
Precisely. Destroying the railroad hinges on completely eliminating their leadership. Otherwise, they'll simply regroup somewhere else. To that end, here's a list of the 5 targets we believe would cause a catastrophic failure in their chain of command.
Consider it done.
Thank you, Paladin. Now, before you depart, Proctor Ingram has additional orders for you to complete.
Our sources tell us that the railroad has some sort of experimental, or they're calling it the Predictive Analytic Machine, or PAM for short. Cute, huh? They use the robot for complex strategic calculations that are much more efficient than anything we can generate. If you could use this holotape to decrypt, I'm certain we could put Pam's computer...
I'll try to get it back here in one piece.
Good. It'd be a hell of a waste if you didn't.
When you're ready, proceed to the Old North Church and link up with our assault team. They'll provide demolition support. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Your promotion was well deserved, Paladin.
Saw something. Let's do this. Something's out there. Right here. I can't see it. My head. Lost someone. Lift the front. Need backup. Start time. Take us down. Who's there? Taking damage! They got me! Just a matter of time. The Brotherhood is here! Leave no sign, everyone! Need some just a matter of time. Someone! Shit! Taking fire! You bastards won't take us down! Oh, what? Ha! Freaks, die! Damn it! only a matter of time.
Not now.
What the? Don't move!
Easy now. Hands up.
Sam.
Oh, God.
Home.
Shit.
By Elder Maxon's orders, all forms of...
Well, it appears that the railroad won't be a hindrance to our future.
Those sympathizers deserved exactly what they got.
That they did. I'm also pleased we are having it brought to the Pridwen. where it will be installed. It's an amazing piece of pre-war technology. Speaking of pre-war technology, Proctor Ingram is putting the final touches on Liberty Prime. Congratulations on another successful mission, Paladin. Ad Victoriam.
Captain Kells.
Hold up, Paladin. Paladin? As I was saying, Paladin, the Brotherhood has been monitoring the Commonwealth for some time now, ever since we learned of the synth threat. We've dispatched a number of reconnaissance teams. Dance's former squad was far from the first.
The previous team was dispatched 3 years ago. They never reported back. Officially, they're missing. Presumed dead.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Then you still have a lot to learn about the Brotherhood.
They knew the risk. They faced it with courage. And we honor their sacrifice. We don't...
Your orders are to search for the missing recon.
Sure.
Understood.
Their insertion point was in... Monitor your... Acquire a signal. That's all.
Excuse me, Captain Kells?
Now that you've had a chance to roam the Pridwind, what do you think, Paladin?
She's very impressive.
Yes. Quite a feat of engineering, isn't she? It took the brother...
Time well spent, I'd say.
Indeed. With the Pridwin in her presence...
They don't stand a chance.
Amen to that. In any event, I think you'll find that the more familiar you become...